Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we are working on a classic. I don't know if you guys remember this van, but this thing's been around the channel for quite a long time. I've always kind of regretted not doing a proper restoration on it right from the beginning. So I was digging through the project bin the other day and I found this and I was like, oh man, I forgot I even had it still. As you can see, I put a big decal on the side of this thing, and that goes way back to my first decal making video. I was testing out the resolution on the printer. We got the dude, man, drinking a White Russian. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I put this decal on this van in that video. I've always felt like I've done this van dirty and I want to correct that. And we'll turn it into another little beautiful Redline Supervan, much like our Yamaha van here. And it'll be something that can be cherished rather than this abomination. Okay, I love these Supervans. They're probably my favorite casting because it doesn't really matter what you put on them. They look good. It's just a nicely designed casting. We'll get this fixed up today and it'll look like $1,000,000. We're going to turn it into the Toys R Us giraffe van. So I got some decals here. And it should be a breeze because we just have to paint this white. So it's just a nice little Tuesday morning here we'll leave this over here for inspiration. That's one of my favorite Supervans ever that we've done on the channel. So this is already pre-drilled and I already pre-uglied up this interior. To get going right out of the gate, I think I'm going to just drop this right into the stripper. Got some epoxy putty stuck on the back here, so hopefully everything comes off cleanly. So this is a polyethylene plastic, which means I could use an oil-based clear coat to refinish this and make it look like $1,000,000. So we might do that in this video. But all this white paint and stuff, man, this is before the days where I knew what I was doing. Gonna go ahead and pop these out of here. Man, this poor van, my bad. I don't remember what kind of paint I used on this, but to tackle that, I'm gonna fill my little cup here with some Super Clean. And this is one of the better things that I have found that strips paint off of plastic. It's been a discussion on these diecast channels for years. What's the best thing to use? And everybody suggests something different. This is what I find works the best, is just Super Clean. We'll leave this in here for an hour or so and it'll soften up all this paint. And we should be able to just remove it with a toothbrush. So we're just going to move that over to the side and forget about that till probably the end of the video. We'll give that body a few more minutes. In the meantime, maybe we'll clean up this base a little bit. It's not too bad seeing that we cleaned it up a little bit, I think. Maybe we didn't. It doesn't really look cleaned up, does it? We'll give it a good wire wheelie polish. Feels kind of good going back to work on an old project that we've already touched once on the channel, because there's been a few over the years that have been kind of questionable, you know, ones I felt kind of guilty about. Another good example of projects that I want to go back to redo is this big Mercury. This is when I first got into doing candy paints. And I really didn't know what I was getting into. Painting a big wide-bodied project like this with an airbrush, trying to do candy paints, was very difficult to keep candy even because every time you overlap candy, the part that got overlapped, you'd see a dark line here. So that's what was happening on this one. So it ended up getting darker and darker and darker just because I was chasing all these areas that were too dark. So this is one of those projects I'd like to revisit, redo, and do it properly now that I got a lot more experience and stuff, you know, working on diecast. This is a pretty cool model. If you go back in the channel listings a little bit, you'll be able to find the video. But so yeah, this is another one that I feel like I don't know, I could have did a lot better on. Didn't really like it. OMG. The good news is the epoxy came off the back. God, it's looking so much better already. I'm glad we got that stuff stripped off there. I was feeling a little embarrassed even showing you guys that, so this is more like it. Poor Supervan. So this little van, this was the third project I ever worked on in my life, I believe. I did one diecast car just to see if I could do a restoration. The second one I filmed and is the first video on this channel, and this was the second video on this channel. Man, surprisingly, this is one of the better Supervan castings that I've seen. It's nicer than that Yamaha one there. Usually all these lines are all messed up on the back of these things, so this one's pretty nice. Beautiful, man. That's looking real nice. We've already kind of prepped this one up a few years ago, so most of the hard work's already done. She's even already drilled. So to get things going on this project, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head into the spray booth. I'm going to lay down a little bit of white sealer, and then I think we'll do a metallic white base. And then I'm going to put on a little bit of clear coat, and we'll get this up on the stand and we'll do some decals, all right? Alright, I got our little van back from paint. Our one layer of clear coat is nice and dry, so we are ready to do some decals. Let me scuff this up just a little bit first. Alright, that's looking actually pretty good. Even our lighting's a little bit better this time around. I put an extra filter on the light that's above us. So I've got a tray of water here with a moist paper towel. I've got our decals cut. So it's going to look something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop this on here. We'll just moisten the back of this, and then I'll pull it out of there. So I've been kind of going over different scenarios for how we're going to handle this 100,000 subscriber thing. And I think for the most part it's going to be kind of a hangout video. It'll be almost like a live stream where we'll be like working on a project, kind of chilling, maybe having a few drinks. You know, a little celebratory Canadian libation extravaganza. If we can't do a nice job on this. What a great looking Hot Wheel, right? Look at that thing. You can just get her on there nice and square. Sweet. I can see this decal's lifting right on this front corner here, so I'm going to melt that in with a little microsol. In fact, I'm just going to cover the whole decal with microsol. And it should just melt in around that signal light, no problemo. And we'll just move on to the other side for now. Hopefully you guys don't get sick of these Supervan videos. I love these things, man. This is like my Sweet 16 collection. I just want to have all the Supervans lined up. I don't care if they're original or restored. I probably prefer them all to be restored because, I mean, it'd be cheap. Some of these vans can be $200 or $300 and up, to be honest. So if I had a bunch of restored ones, that would suit me right down to the ground. Plus, they'd be real nice. Of course, they'd just be minty looking. Easy. Easy does it. Cool, man. Beautiful, man. We'll just give that a little bit of time to dry and evaporate and everything. It's looking good so far. I'm pumped to get a new Supervan. I put the van in the paint oven for 15 minutes or so just to help kind of evaporate some of the moisture that's in that decal before I do a clear coat. I thought we'd check on our interior. Now this has been soaking in super clean for, I don't know, about 2 hours. You can see we got some paint that's lifted already. So let's have a look here and see how our super clean is doing. Look at this. Look at this. I'm pretty sure if I get this into the sink with a toothbrush and some hot water, it's going to just come out perfect. Boop, boop, boop. That's a pretty good start, super clean. I'm going to leave this soaking for a little bit longer, and I'll get back to it obviously before the end of the project. Another question I get every time I do one of these kind of Redline restorations. These wheels. Everyone wonders where I get these wheels from. You cannot buy these loose. You have to buy other cars if you want replacement wheels like this. But those wheels I get from these. These are 25th anniversary Redlines. I believe they came out around 1997. A couple years ago I mentioned I bought a big box of these. I think we got about 30 or 40 cars. I don't remember. I was trying to flip them to try to make a little bit of money on them because I thought they'd be totally collectible, but nobody was really wanting them. And eBay was just absolutely flooded with these things at the time. So eventually, I wanted to start restoring some of these old paddy wagons, and coincidentally, look, they got the exact same wheels. The reproduction ones are a little bit nicer, obviously. The lines are a little bit duller on these, but I mean, it's better than nothing. So I started parting out a couple of these to restore some of these paddy wagons and then got into doing the vans. So I'm getting down to the bare bones of my supply now. So I'll be on the hunt soon because I do have more projects to restore. And I'm definitely not done restoring these little vans. So I got to keep the wheels going. You know what I mean? I don't know what your guys' experience has been like shopping at Toys R Us. We still have one in Canada here, pretty close to where I live. And I think it was 2 years ago or so I went there thinking, oh man, this is going to be the holy grail for Hot Wheels. But it sucked. I went there around this time of year, you know, where shoppers are just starting to get a little bit crazy. But that didn't matter because I'm like, this is going to be there's going to be so many Hot Wheels here. It's going to be just amazing. But there wasn't. My local Walmart has more Hot Wheels than the Toys R Us, so forget that. So that was my one and only time I went there as an adult, anyways. Beautiful, man. Look at that thing. Boop. Our Super Clean did a real nice job getting us to this point. It's having a little bit of trouble getting in between the pleats there where it's a little thick. So I'm going to just use a pick to loosen up those couple little pieces and then it should be perfect. Now I'm at the point where I'd like to clear coat this glass. And I'm going to clear coat our car at the same time, get them both in the oven and they'll both be cured and ready for an assembly. Alright, I've got our parts here. What do you guys think of that? Ooh, that's a nice windshield. So using an oil-based clear coat like this only works on the windshields that are the flexible kind of plastic. An oil-based clear coat on a hard plastic windshield would most likely ruin it. So you got to be careful which ones you clear coat. Some you can get away with, some you can't. I got our van done here. She's ready. She's painted. She's clear coated. She's ready for an assembly. So I'm going to do that quick and then we'll roll this bad boy out. Oh, we haven't done the base. Shit. I was just getting ready to do an assembly here. As you can see, I got our wheels mounted on our beautiful base. So that is good to go. So I'm going to do a little assembly here, and we're going to have a look at our Toys R Us van in just a second. Clink. So here's our little Jeffrey van, Toys R Us, looking great. We could consider this one another one checked off of our Redline vans collection. I think I'm going to do them all. All the ambulances, military vehicles, everything we can find in a Redline van, I'm going to try it. She looks beautiful, man. I really like it. I think it turned out quite well, and I really enjoy seeing these Redline vans up and running again. It brings me a certain kind of happiness. So our windshield turned out real good. It looks great. It's nice and glossy and perfect. Really not quite sure what's coming up next. I'll surprise you with something in a day or so. So until then, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Say hello in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, fam. See you later.